Man, if I could spend all day here every day, I probably would. This is exactly why I do what I do. Hey guys, how's it going? It's me, Josh Halter, owner and founder of the Bldg, and today I have a really special video to share with you guys. Over the last couple weeks, we have been working very closely with Brazos Bend State Park Nature Center. And what we're going to be doing is redoing all of their terrariums, installing all new heating and lighting, and giving all of their animals here a much needed upgrade. If you guys have never been here to Brazos Bend State Park, this is one of my favorite places here in Texas. I'm really excited to share this journey with you guys, so let's get going to the Nature Center. All right guys, so here we are at the Brazos Bend Nature Center, and if you guys have not been here, I highly recommend you come check out this beautiful center. It is right by the Pinot Slough Trail, and they have alligators and a whole bunch of awesome Texas native things out on display for young learners to come and learn a little bit about Texas ecosystems. Now, the first habitat that we did, this is a 4x2x2 Vivarium Electronics PVC cage, which we sell on our website. This habitat also includes the Vivarium Electronics base with casters. And inside here is a Texas rat snake. Now, this critter, he is roughly 4.5 feet long, and he was in a 20-gallon long tank with maybe 1/4 inch of topsoil, a water dish, and a piece of wood. No lighting, no nothing. And again, we are so happy to do this. So here we have a nice deep layer of terra firma. It's about 3 inches through the front, and it goes all the way to about 8 inches into the back to create all those different microclimates that Texas rat snakes need. Now, one of the things that we wanted to make sure was to give him areas to climb and to bask, because we know that rat snakes are semi-arboreal, if not arboreal animals. They go up in the trees to hunt for birds and other things. So we tried to give him as a lot of opportunities in the form of branches, but while also making him visible to the people that come in here. Now, he was put in here on Friday. It is now Monday. So I already know he is deep in that large cork bark flat that goes from one end of the tank all the way here to the middle. That goes all the way to the back. So that is creating a multifaceted temperature microclimate and humidity microclimate in here. On the very top, we have an Arcadia heat dome that is backed by an Arcadia halogen heat bulb to put out that infrared A and B, which is extremely important, with some slate rock on there to help retain some of that heat at the base, as well as the ghost wood getting higher. So we have almost 3 different basking areas here that are going to provide different thermal gradients. And then of course, to make sure we're getting to our proper basking, we have it hooked up to a Vivarium Electronics thermostat. And then here we have our Bldg Solar Grow LED and our Bldg solar lamp fixture. They are both daisy chained together, hooked up to an Arcadia 6% UVB. We have all of the lighting hooked up to be on a Bluetooth timer to provide a proper photo period for this Texas rat snake. Now, we have a lot of different starter plants in here, and the reason we chose starter plants, we're talking some philodendrons, some pothos, some scheffleras. The keepers that come here, they are very skilled and have a large knowledge base, but not everybody has a big green thumb. So we are trying to make sure that with the money that this state facility is spending, that their money goes as far as possible, and that they can even take cuttings from these plants to propagate into other tanks. It's about what's going to give the people coming in here the best experience in the form of being able to see the animal, but also for back-end user and functionality for the staff here at Brazos Bend State Park. Now let's go to the favorite build I got to do, which is the water snake. Guys, this was an immediate change. I mean immediate. He was kept in a 15-gallon tank. What we did was upgrade him to a 55-gallon tank. We put the nice gradient in here with some silicone and some sand. We have a nice rock base. We have fern moss growing off of the ghost wood, as well as we have a pothos and a philodendron down here that are right in the water. To do water changes, we facilitated them with an automatic siphon and a carbon bottle. The carbon bottle is going to put out filtered water to do a quick water change whenever they need it, as well as provide good quality water for misting, but also give him the ability to swim. The moment he was put in here, he submerged his whole body and sat in the water for a while. He loved it. And then he went on top of his little area over here, and he just peeked his head up, overseeing his entire domain. When I tell you guys that you can visually see a difference in your animals when you give them the best of the best, that is one of the most rewarding things about keeping reptiles. And I got to experience that with this build, and it is extremely rejuvenating. We have terra firma here on this side with some cork bark branching and tubing. Here we have a solar grow LED piggybacked into a solar lamp, which has an Arcadia 6% UVB bulb. Here we have an Arcadia heat dome. This is the graphite, just like the Texas rat. That is utilizing a 50-watt spot bulb. When it comes to maintenance, they'll be doing a water change probably every 3 days. They elected not to want to use a filter because water snakes, from my understanding, they don't want really high, quick moving water. So this gives them the ability to put fish in here for him, to allow him to hunt for the fish, as well as for this little Nerodia just to swim. But again, guys, of all my animals in here that I got to see, he's hands down one of my favorites. He is so cool, and he is just beautiful, and he just doesn't care. This is his house, and he'll let you know if he doesn't want you in there. So let's move on to the Louisiana milk snake. Now this guy, this is almost an adult milk snake. Now, as you can see, when we initially established him into the habitat, he's a pretty large specimen. He was kept in about, I believe, a 20-gallon long tank. And we upgraded him to a 55-gallon screen lid with a clips, just like the water snake. We are using a solar grow LED with a solar lamp with a 6% Arcadia fixture on the inside. You can see that we have these all linked together to one plug, which is really making this a lot easier to maintain them all in a similar structure when it comes to photo period, as well as an Arcadia reflector clamp lamp with a halogen bulb. Again, halogen is what we recommend for reptiles. We have a deep layer of terra firma in here. We did not use a lot of spag moss in this build. Just like the Texas rat, we used very little. This area at Brazos, it's very, very humid. So, and this area isn't as insulated. So temperature swings within this room are pretty common. A lot of the biodegradables that we used were my cacao leaves, my banana leaves, and our ground up sugar cane, which has been a big deal. But you can already see some of the humidity pockets starting to form all around here. And you can also see there are already holes from his tunnels starting to form over here by the cork, as well as over here by the base of the grapevine. You can see that we have some Swiss cheese philodendrons and some pothos. We didn't put a lot of plants in here because this critter's pretty destructive. And again, we wanted him to be able to get established, but allow people to actually get to see him when they come and appreciate him. When it comes to maintenance, they're changing their water dish, frequently. And feeding, every 2 weeks. But this guy, he's been doing great. And once he got introduced in here, he made his tunnels, and that was it. We're hoping that as he gets established, that he's gonna be his typical out always, just like our water snake over here. Here, we have a beautiful Western hognose snake. These guys love to burrow. They love to make different tunnels throughout the different microclimates that establish in the soil. We have some Apontia cactus, some Cryptanthus earth star, which you can see, he's already moved a bunch of the substrate over on top of the Cryptanthus, because this was not like this when we left on Friday. We have the large ponytail palm here, the tiger tooth aloe, and the spaghetti agave here with grapevine, ghostwood, and slate. Now you notice how we have, again, just like we do with all of our animals that we build for, we have a hide that's on the cool side, and then we have a hide that's on the hot side. Creating different temperature gradients and microclimates is important. So when it comes to basking for this little hoggy, we can go and bask on top of the slate rock, which is a big deal for these guys. Or if we want to get up a little higher, we can get on top of this ghost wood that's right here. We have a Solar Grow 36-inch LED here and a solar lamp with a 6% Arcadia bulb right here. All the habitats that you guys have seen have been seeded with Prasinius isopods and temperate springtails. And we also got them set up with their own master cultures and trained them on how to maintain their master cultures so they can continually reseed, which has been a great experience as well. And now, guys, I know we got a video of him getting in here, and I already know, like, we're gonna see this critter, you know, when he's out, he's gonna wanna come out. This is a slender glass lizard. This is a legless lizard that is an extremely unique critter. This habitat, I love it because we got some nice luscious moss in here, and then over onto the hotter side, it gets a little bit sparser. So being lizards, these guys like to bask, but they're very snake-like. So you have to give them easy ways to get up to the different thermal gradients. Hence, you can see steps. So we did a step 1, step 2, and step 3. We do have some Sansevierias in here. We have a Schefflera plant, we have a Dracaena, and we have a Philodendron. All of these are great options for this slender glass lizard. And I can't wait when I come back here in a couple months to see him. Just like the others, we have a 36-inch Solar Grow LED, and then the 22-inch Arcadia 6%. This is the only one that I was a little iffy on with the spectrum. So we are watching his behavior. We're seeing how he does with the spectrum with a solar meter, which they do have, and making sure that we are getting that proper UVI as things get established. And if we end up seeing it's a little too high, we might dumb it down to a shade dweller just to get a little bit lower of a Ferguson zone, just because these guys do come out and bask, but they do really like to lay in leaf litter. Over here, we have a Texas brown tarantula. So this is the Exoterra 18 cube. Now this is filled with Terra Arania. And I did this a little bit differently. You can see that I put a little bit of rock on the top all around some of the small aloes and agaves in there. You can see a spaghetti strap agave in the back, and then some smaller Haworthias and aloe in the front. I have this beautiful piece of grapevine with the slate rock and the Mopani wood. I think I really like this habitat because it really just looks wonderful. I used a little bit of leaves, not as much of the leaves as I used in the other builds, but I used more of the shredded bamboo as well as the sugar cane, because that's really going to help get the bioshock going, as well as the springtails. We did not use any isopods in this habitat because we were concerned the Prasinius isopods would just bother the tarantula too much. We want to make sure that we don't stress her out, especially as she goes through this habitat change. One of the biggest things with them is they're just gonna have to make sure to not over mist it, because the rock is going to keep humidity in extraordinarily well, and so will the slate. So just making sure that we pay attention to those microclimates, which they've been trained to do. And I'm really excited to come back and see how this is gonna grow. Now these guys over here, guys, these were tough. When you guys see the pictures of the before and after, I am ecstatic how these turned out. So the first thing that we did with each habitat is we gave these snakes heat and light because they didn't have any. They had a little LED strip that went on the side, but it was not great. So what we did was we installed my BioDude Solar Grow LED and the BioDude / Cages light fixture that we have mounted here and here and here to provide them a hot spot. You can see that there is protection in each. That was very, very important for us to make sure that the animals can't come in close contact with the bulb. We really wanted to put UVB in here, but we could not get a safe Ferguson zone with any bulb on the market at this distance. We just couldn't do it. So unfortunately, these guys aren't getting UVB, but I mean, let's look at this. The first one here, this is a prairie king snake. Guys, this guy is a big, big baby. Absolutely love seeing him when I redid his habitat. And you can see him out here just basking like it's nothing. And what's fun about these is since they opened from the back, I had to build backwards, which obviously is a little bit harder. But we have a ponytail palm, a spaghetti agave, an aloe vera, a larger ponytail palm, and a sansevieria, which he's already moved a little bit. With how well these habitats hold humidity, you can already see a perfect line of where the humidity is compared to the top dry. So this tank is already settled, already done great. We are using 50-watt halogens in here. Now we are watching them very closely. We might dumb it down in the summertime to like a 25-watt or 35-watt halogen. But I can tell you this prairie is absolutely loving this habitat. And then down here, look at this baby. We have a speckled king snake. Now, I know this guy has been here for a really, really long time, and Jess was telling me all about him. We have the 50-watt halogen with a piece of slate directly underneath for a really nice hot basking spot. We have a decent layer of terra firma in here, sloped more towards the front into the back. A mixture of cacao leaves, banana leaves, and our sugarcane mulch with a whole bunch of different pothos. And if you look in the back, you can see the Swiss cheese philodendron. It looks like he took a big rest on top of that. So we're going to be watching that Swiss cheese philodendron very closely to see how it does. But again, guys, the reason that we are using the type of plants we are is because these snakes are going to uproot them. They're going to trample them. And this isn't a high space. It isn't a giant space. This roughly has the floor print of a 40 breeder. And down here, we have a pair of Okatee corn snakes. Now, these guys have been living together, well, ever since I've been coming here. Now, you know, I know everybody has mixed opinions on keeping colubrids together. As you can see, we have the halogen heat bulb protected with the heat bulb cover, and then a Biodude LED with, of course, the bulb cover for protection. We have a nice layer of terra firma in here with some cacao leaves, banana leaves, and some of the sugarcane grounded up mulch. We have some beautiful Dracenias and some pothos, and we even have a rubber plant in here. I have a feeling both of their little fat bodies are inside this cork tube. So again, guys, we did our best to make sure that all these critters get multiple microclimates within the scope of everything to give them obviously all the options that they need so they can have nice, clean, healthy sheds, but also so that way when people come in here to see these animals, that they get to see them and have a really strong appreciation for them. And this is exactly why I do what I do. He wasn't able to do this before. He wasn't able to do what water snakes like to do, submerge his body. And the whole point of keeping reptiles, whether you're a state facility displaying them like Brazos Bend, or whether you're a personal keeper like me, the whole thing about keeping reptiles as pets is that they are some of the most unique animals in the world. And if you don't give them the opportunity to express that uniqueness, then you are partially, in my opinion, not doing everything you can to provide that best care. And to me, that needs to be the standard in our industry. And it's amazing that not only Brazos has embraced that, but allowed me to play a big part of that. And I just want to thank everybody for taking the time to watch this video. This was a project that took months of planning and communication. It is not easy to get into working with state-funded facilities. I really want to thank Brazos Bend State Park, like I mentioned earlier, for this opportunity. And I implore all of you to take a family day out here if you're in Texas to come to this park. It is beautiful. There is amazing birding. There's amazing herping. Just walking around the 40-acre lake, you can find so many alligators and so many unique wildlife here in Texas, and it is really a gem. And it is great that they have this amazing nature center that you can see baby alligators. They have a sensory section for small children to learn more about nature and a whole thing about the Texas ecology. The fact that I could come in here and be part of this and to share it with you guys on my channel is even better. You guys know me. My name is Josh. I am the owner and founder of The Biodude. You guys can visit my website, thebiodude.com. You can come to my store here in Houston, which is about an hour from where Brazos Bend is. And of course, feel free to hit that like and subscribe button. I really appreciate y'all. Thank you so much for watching. The Dude abides.